Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to introduce many different revelations, twists, and turns, as well as surprises in this film that will lead to saga-wide implications within the Skywalker saga by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation film, basically having many different connections to, of course, the prequels and the originals, as well as Star Wars Legends. That's really going to make this a very authentic Star Wars movie by Disney and Lucasfilm, and to give the fans a better version of course, the final film of the sequel trilogy through reshoots that have been going on from, of course, August all the way up until now in October. Now, on top of all this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to be traveling to a place called the Lost City, which is said to hold ancient knowledge of the Jedi, Sith, and even the Force itself. It's explained that during Rey's journey, she is said to come across many Jedi artifacts and is even said to interact with the Force in unique ways that have never been done on screen before. It's explained that once Rey reaches the Prime Jedi Temple, she is said to connect with the Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker, where it's said that his voice is reaching out to Rey. It's explained that Anakin sounds far older and wise in the sequence, and that he begins to reveal a large secret to Rey about Darth Vader. It's explained that Anakin unveils to Rey that though he was able to break his way from the dark side of the Force and was able to rid of his Darth Vader persona, it's explained that part of that Darth Vader persona lives on within the dark side Force Nexus areas that are said to be very powerful through the ways of the dark side. Now, it's explained that Anakin unveils to Rey that within the Lost City, there is a location that consists of ancient Sith ruins, where the remnants of Vader's Sith Wraith resides, and that it feeds off of the darkness, and that allows it to embody itself in the mortal world. It's explained that this was done by the Dark Acolytes that made it possible, and that Rey must go in as a test or challenge of her loyalty to the light side of the Force, and to also test her strengths and weaknesses. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, this is all said to allude to the hybrid Force Ghost of course, Darth Vader, which was an original idea by J.J. Abrams for The Force Awakens that never made it to the final cut of the movie. Now, what is very exciting about this, though, is that Anakin unveils this big secret about his Darth Vader persona, and that a part of it lives on over in the dark side Force Nexus within, of course, the ancient Sith ruins, and that this was all done by the Dark Acolytes through a Sith ritual. Now, like I say, this also alludes to the second teaser trailer where you do hear whispers and, of course, the Darth Vader breathing. Most likely explains as to exactly, what the role of Darth Vader's hybrid Force Ghost is going to play in the second act of Episode 9. Now, the other piece that I do want to go over here, of course, involves Rey. Now, this, of course, mirrors the Yoda and Luke training session on Dagobah, where Yoda tells, Luke to go into the cave and to only, pretty much, focus on his ways of the Force. This is exactly what's going on here between both, of course, Anakin and Rey, where Rey has to go into the ancient Sith ruins to test her strengths and weaknesses and how loyal she really is to the light side of the Force, and that this is all going to be done by her confronting the Sith Wraith of Darth Vader. Now, we have actually heard about this Sith Wraith before in the past. You guys may recall that it's said to be basically a shape-shifting Force Ghost, if you will, or a Sith Wraith is the better description here, that actually shifts from the look of Anakin Skywalker attuned to the dark side, as well as Darth Vader with a half mask, eventually transforming into a full mask with a hood over his head. So you can really see what they're trying to put together in this movie. They are really trying their very best in order to give the fans a very horrifying sequence between, of course, both Rey, Anakin, and, of course, Darth Vader's hybrid Force Ghost, and what it all really means in The Rise of Skywalker. So, with that being said, this movie does have a lot to offer, and it also has the opportunity to mark itself down as the best film of the sequel trilogy. If you guys go ahead and look at the hybrid Force Ghost original idea for Episode 7, I will say it's like something straight out of like a horror movie that you would expect to see that, from all the other horror films that have come out. Now, With that being said, this particular scenario is said to all take place within the Prime Jedi Temple. The Prime Jedi Temple in and on itself is said to be a Force Nexus area, where it's very powerful through the ways of the Force and is said to be a concentration of the Force. And that's exactly why Rey is able to communicate with Anakin's Force Ghost across space and time. Now, what I like about this also is that this also connects to Star Wars Legends. In Legends, there were places underneath the surface of specific worlds in the Outer Rim and the Mid-Rim areas that actually showed us ancient Jedi and Sith ruins. So you can see where JJ, Chris, and George Lucas are getting all this material from. It's all, of course, inspired by Star Wars: The Expanded Universe. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.